call this meeting. I'll call this meeting of the Historic District Commission to order at 7:01 PM. Todd, would you read the call?
Sure. Town of Groton, notice of public hearing, Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 at 7 PM at the Groton Town Hall Annex, 134 Groton Long Point Road. And virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. HCC 25-0004, 13 Gravel Street, Eric Gallant, applicant, Arnaud Bourgeois, owner. LP tank pin number 26191841241. ACC 25-0005, 368 High Street, Paul Miller, applicant, owner, fencing pin number 2619143323362. ACC 25-0006, 242 High Street, Avery Barlow, applicant, owner, fence pin number 2619143328819. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website meetings calendar. Applications are on file and available for public inspection during normal business hours at the Planning Department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut, dated this 28th day of January 2025 at Groton, Connecticut. Todd Brady, Secretary.
Thank you. I will waive the hearing procedures. If anyone wants to read a copy, they're over there on the yellow paper. We'll jump right into public hearings. HCC 25-00803 Elm Street. David, that's you. Come on up.
Good evening. How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm David Price with Advanced Construction here in Mystic. We have a project.
Need your address. So,
Okay, 61 West Main Street,
thanks.
Mystic.
But you're working on 3 Elm.
Yes. So we had a small addition on the back of the back of the house that we are expanding about 6 feet, and that is the kitchen. The kitchen is currently smaller, so we're adding 6 feet in the back. So we're adding one window, taking a single one in the back here and adding the double. And the siding is going the same color, same product to the existing structure, and that goes same for the roof. So this is the
Dave, can you just, if you look at the screen and how this is presenting, can you just slide that so everybody can see what you're pinpointing here, and I can zoom in a little bit too if you need to. Thank you.
so this is the existing. Am I doing a good job?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Well, no, am I with that?
I think so. Yeah, well, it's yeah.
Jury is out, done a good job, Savin, but yeah. So this is the existing addition on the back. Again, this is the kitchen in the back, and this is what we're proposing. Again, nothing's changing on the structure other than just adding 6 feet from the back to the to this existing structure. So the siding, the roof and everything remains same color, same kind, everything to match.
My only, the only question is just on the spec sheet for the windows. That's got a 6/1, and this has no divided lights. Which fine. The double right there,
Yeah.
and then if you just look at the, oops.
Yeah. No, this is what's gonna be, sorry, I probably just a narrower there, so.
Sort of 6/1.
Yeah, it's gonna match exactly that.
Yeah, it looked like sliders too. Are they sliders?
Yeah, so we're replacing an existing slider that it has really, we're just replacing the existing slider in the back because on the side of the kitchen, because that is going, it's really old and it's older Anderson window, slide, so we're replacing that.
Can you clarify, because I'm looking at the top drawing and the edge comes just about to that small bathroom, what I would consider as a bathroom window on the left or on my left. And then right? See how, yeah, that line is right next to what I consider would be like a small bathroom window. Now, if you go to the bottom drawing, the window and the line are at the same place, but you said you're adding 6 feet. Are you adding 6 feet?
6 feet from, actually, we're looking this from the back, so I can show you the picture.
So,
That particular elevation, Bill, you're looking at it like this.
yeah.
So if he brings it 6 feet closer to you,
Oh.
it's not gonna look
Oh,
any different
okay,
on that
I
elevation.
misunderstood. I
Yeah.
thought he was going 6 feet.
Nope.
No,
the other direction. That's
No.
my,
we're just coming out 6 feet.
okay, that's,
Nothing changes.
that's what I misunderstood.
Yeah,
It's
no.
like, I was like, how's the wall not moving 6 feet over?
And I
But
even
got-
ask if I'm doing a good job in here. Yes, not.
Oh, okay, now I,
Well, now he understands.
yeah, just no,
So
no.
you're just gonna dig 3 times, right?
See, he's coming 6. That's
So,
right.
yeah, no, and I misunderstood.
No,
I thought it would go, yeah. Okay.
Maybe if you slide that plan up just a little bit, you can see where you highlighted the additional 6 feet. On that bottom left-hand corner right there. See where that's kind of
Oh, this-
bracketed
The sliding glass.
wow.
above the slider there?
Yeah,
See, that's the
Okay.
actual
That
piece
was-
that he's adding on.
all right, thank you.
Right.
The slider won't be visible from the public way, so that,
Not this, neither the slider, neither this, it's really, that's a huge pool in the back and there's nothing, no one could see anything in the back. But we're changing no products at all.
no, it's just kind of a non-issue.
Yeah.
Any questions? So just as long as it's 6/1.
Yeah, it's gonna be
simulated,
We're gonna make that change on that, I do call it, but
and just a simulated divided light.
yes. But this is what's going to be expired. 6.
Questions, comments? Looks good.
So
You good?
there just needs to be that change and given to Todd
Correct.
for the application.
Yes, I mean, this is what's actually, sorry, this probably didn't have it, but it's going to have it 6.
Right,
But we
if you-
need it in the file.
Yeah,
Yeah.
since that's in there, can you just write on it?
Yep,
Yeah,
Just write 6/1 SDL. Or draw it. Just put SDL. okay.
yeah,
And,
Just put SDL, so simulated divided light.
SDO.
yeah, and then just initial it in. You can give that to me.
Thank you.
That's all I have, right?
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Is anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Yeah, against the application? Okay, HTC 25-0080 is closed. HTC 25-0003, 46 West Main Street. I think that's you.
Leo Roach, 4 Pearl Street, Mystic, Connecticut. I'm here for 46 West Main Street, Mystic. Continuation. I want to start with the windows. I know there was a question about what type of windows, so I was like, all right, might as well bring the window. So there was 2 options I'd like to have done was the vinyl, or this is the aluminum clad. So obviously in the last drawings there, obviously this is not a 6/6, but what's going in is just a replacement window. Exactly the same type as it's in there right now. So I'm just looking for different options, either vinyl, if you're okay with it, or clad.
you had another gentleman here who presented the
Yeah,
the vinyl, and
Yeah.
I'll be the bad guy in this situation.
Okay.
I asked him to come up with an alternative to the vinyl.
This is. Got this rings in it. This is do this quite often in Mystic and those.
Who's the manufacturer?
The manufacturer is Hardy.
Yeah.
It's,
Harry.
true divided.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it would be in white, obviously.
Yeah.
Doing everything in white. As you say in the pictures there, I would be doing very, just replacement.
Glad would be preferred.
Yes.
No problem.
Sorry, I wasn't here, but just remind me, what windows are you?
The
replacing?
windows in the ground floor.
On the front,
On the front, yeah,
so there'll be 6/6 divided.
6/6, very same.
So it's just those 4.
Whatever's on the front, I think there's like 6. It's in
Oh, the little side ones
the
too.
one side.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, right.
But did you approve the siding stuff?
I approve, we didn't approve anything, we continued the whole.
Yeah, I'll get the siding as well,
And,
I'll just.
and I just said. The siding looked fine, I just didn't care for the vinyl, so
Yep.
I said to come back with an alternative and we'll just continue the whole. Application,
I think
So
we're
the
looking for
vinyl
the
was-
spec sheet for the siding too.
Yeah,
right,
Yeah.
there was missing materials list.
So you have specs on these windows, Leo?
yes. Yeah, I got specs of these. So, some information there on them, the 2 or 3 books. So,
The books, you can keep the books. Okay, so is it, I just want to make sure we're clear. It's the windows and the clad, and then it's just the hardy siding?
Yeah, he had a roof, you were doing a roof too, right?
yeah,
And, but I don't think there was any, issue with the roof. But rather than just approve the roof, he said, I'll just come back and do it all at once.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm totally fine with everything. I just don't have anything. So I don't know what we're making a motion for. That's all I'm trying to say.
Oh,
Like, I don't,
Yeah, there's none
I
of
don't
this,
know.
none of this stuff is here and there's no is there a description?
so I just want to, we're, the windows and clad, hardy siding
Mhm.
in the smooth,
yeah, oh yeah. and so-
and the roof is asphalt shingles, just in what color and what brand?
It would be the very same what's there already. Sorry, I should have, I wasn't here at the last meeting. I thought we were okay with the shingle.
yeah.
No,
he-
you,
And he had the sample and everything, I think, with him, or
Yeah.
he had,
I don't have any issue with
Yeah.
this.
yeah.
I just want to put it
It was
down.
really the Windows list.
Yeah,
It
let
was-
me take
yeah.
a look at this stuff here, Leo.
Something there.
Or you can just say architectural shingles to match. So.
Yeah, that's all. It's,
And what's this here?
And this is the siding. It gives you different dimensions, you know, you can do a 5.5, 6.25, this is 6.25. Smooth, like we discussed,
So that's what you're choosing?
choosing, yeah. And the smooth, I kind of marked the smooth out.
Right.
I would have him initial the,
See this,
Yeah, just,
this has got SD elements. Oh,
that's
it's the
fine.
same
yeah.
with its Kleinman.
I mean, we don't care about the sizes because they're replacements.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll just do it that way.
but he needs to write down the architectural shingles initial.
I think the shingles were described in his application.
Okay, all right.
Just for this has nothing to do with you, but just for the sake of us trying to do stuff, all it says here is just replace siding, windows and shingles.
Oh, okay.
So that, all I'm trying to say is like, this is all we have, so. If we're gonna try to be specific,
Then when you do your motion, you probably want to specify, architectural shingles with color match existing or something.
yeah,
That's why I say write it down on that.
there's nothing to write down, because you're just saying shingles.
No, I mean, so it's more.
I can write it
formalized.
on here.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna get Todd to write it down.
I can write it here on that.
So aluminum clad Harvey windows. 6/6 SDL.
Architectural.
Asphalt shingles to match. Just to be clear, I don't have any problems with this. Anyone else? Comments or anything?
No.
Okay. And then,
I
smooth
just had a
6.25 hardy.
Everything else was fine last time. And there's a materials list in there.
It's a 4-inch exposure though.
The 4, 6.5.
The shingle 6.5, but it's not more that gets exposed because you lap it.
Sorry.
The 4-inch exposure.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You good? Does anyone in the audience having to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? All right, sorry. HTC 25-0003 is closed. HTC 25-0004, 13 Gravel Street. On up.
I am Barbara Bourgeois and I live at 13 Gravel.
We're gonna zoom you in a little bit. If you wanna just.
Is that a good direction?
Yeah, looks like you're good.
I should check.
Yeah.
So we're here to get permission to put a propane tank right here. That's. This is Gravel Street and so. It's not visible from the street. And here is. It's from the backyard. And that circle is where the platform is that we've already put in the concrete. And so as you can see, it's not visible from the street. And the tank itself will be less than 3 feet tall. It's a small tank. Any questions so far? And then this is a view from the street. Right there. The raised up, so you really can't see anything back there. Up at the deck level, so looking straight back. Where the view would be.
Just for the sake of it, can you kind of point where the tank would be?
Tank would be.
But that picture's inside the fence that we were seeing, so that's not.
So the thought on this was when you looked at the site plan. There's essentially, there's not a building or any kind of anything that's blocking the location. So it was recommended that she come present. So it could be understood that either the existing fencing is suitable enough for screening. Or if something was additional was going to be considered.
Or the 5-foot stone wall in the front?
That too, that it's, well. Yes, but you still. Would from even that should possibly be able to look. Especially if you got past it and you started looking this way. So it was essentially the site plan that drove the review.
Because it's 99%, 99.9% invisible, do you have a picture of the gas tank?
It's 3 feet tall.
Slightly less.
How would
than
that sort of?
Are you seeing the
tank or being provided by the provider?
being provided, yeah.
There.
Not,
I'll
not
just take
dramatic,
this.
area, but
Yeah.
plantings around it. I don't really know what that is.
You want to give me those photographs and stuff so I can stamp, because they aren't in the actual. You can give me everything else stamped all. Some of it's in here. Thank
The
you.
visibility of the tank would probably detract from the beautiful addition that someone built.
What's that?
I think it would distract from the beautiful boat that's across the street.
I think so.
And then
I have no question.
Maybe look.
Right.
All right, anyone in the audience, I guess, say support of the application? Anyone against the application? It's just the 25-0004 HTC 25-0005, 368 High Street. Hi, come on up. Just your name and address. please.
Paul Miller, 368 High Street.
Great.
So we've got a picket fence that's falling down and we want to replace it with a picket fence that isn't falling down. It's basically the same height, also painted white, also wood, also essentially continuous so that the posts supporting it aren't really visible, but they're 4x4 pressure treat and somebody asked cement support. The density of the pickets is slightly higher. They're currently 2 3/4, and they're going to be 1 by 2 3/4, so they're going to be 1 by 4, so just under 4 wide. It's all stick built. They're not prefabbed panels. But the big difference is that it's not that big, is the fence extends 24 feet further down the driveway, separating us and our neighbors toward their garage. And there's 2 connections to the house from the picket fence, so it makes an enclosed yard, so the dog doesn't run away. So picture wise, I think all of that is probably in there, but also so there's the front of the house from the street and the routed picket fence. The site plan of Mystic. Main Street. Zooming in on that. The blue outline is just highlighting the property line, and then this is our driveway. The fence currently goes from the end of the driveway to the corner and over to about 24 feet from the beginning of their garage. And so that extension will go on, and then a connector here and a connector across here, each with a gate in it. So we'll have 3 gates, the existing one replaced, and the 2 on the ends there. This is the density of the current one, and then that's the plan for the new one. The tops of these are pointed, these will be dog-eared. Both are Atlantic white cedar with pressure treated floor buffers. And this is my somewhat artistic view of what the enclosures, the extensions to the house would look like in the front of the house and from the side of the house, plus the extension in the back. Down to their garage.
Was there some more descriptive information on one of those exhibits there, Paul?
There's a little bit of description here.
Yeah, because I don't have that here. Do you have that on yours?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we'll just take that one.
But you can have this. But this is modified slightly from the one I submitted 2 weeks ago, where it didn't have the cemented in 4x4s.
Okay, I just put this.
Yeah.
No, we were just so excited. It was going wood for wood, not any other.
Yeah.
All set?
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Okay. Anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? Okay, HTC
All those
25
cards can leave now.
That's it.
All those cards out front can leave now because you're done with your presentation.
HTC 25-0006, 424 High Street.
424.
They're not gonna come, I guess, but it's just 3 fence panels.
And they're not,
They're not online.
they're not on the line, okay.
Yeah.
That's this image here.
So
Oh, this-
I raised this just because there's fence panels that weren't there before. It's pretty minor. I don't have any problem doing it without them here. The point was to get an application and get it approved.
Because they're already there.
Yeah, and this 3 fence panels that kind of block a little side area.
Yeah.
But it still needs an application and an approval, so. Unless anyone really objects to it, I don't have any problem making a motion on it.
I like
Me.
that they stepped it instead of sloping it. This is the image.
Yeah. It's sort of front side yard-ish, but it's wood.
We just have to make specifications about heights and stuff within. But not to exceed.
Or 6 feet, so it wouldn't exceed 6 feet from the grade.
Okay, I was, want to cover.
Yeah.
Our.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think 6 feet from grade's fine, because they cut it there and that's a full panel.
Yeah, no, I just.
Yeah, that the height is in on the sheet here.
You remember the whole thing without,
Yeah.
okay. Unless anyone objects. Nope.
No.
All right, anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? HTC 25-0006 is closed.
And do we need to show the public the application on the screen?
I would say if somebody was tuned in, you may want to present it, but it's only Sue and I,
Okay,
so.
but I
I
know
mean,
if
if
someone
you guys
wants to
have seen
watch.
it,
But I always question that whole thing because the stuff's in there and it's
Yeah.
online.
I know,
Okay,
right, yeah,
I just-
and that's, you know, you can go on anytime and look at the agenda package and look at all that stuff.
25 years went by and I don't remember that,
Yeah, right,
you know.
I mean,
okay, I
it's
just
more
didn't-
accessible now than it has ever been.
Okay, I just didn't want anyone to come back and say. We did something.
Well, if they do, we'll send them to you.
Okay.
I mean, technically, you guys can hear a public hearing and never receive a document. You don't have to get a document. You don't have to get specifications. It's better if you do. And, you know, it's certainly your discretion to what extent you, how much detail you want. But a specific, you know, a document doesn't have to be submitted.
Consideration of public hearings, HTC 25-0080. This is 3 Elm Street, the 6-foot addition off the back, the window and the slider. I will make a motion to approve, subject to 6/1 SDL.
Eastman second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You just gotta say your
Gotta say
last
your
name.
name.
Ernst, aye. Yes,
For her online.
yes.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Eastman, aye.
Okay, HTC 25-0080 is approved. HTC 25-0003. This is the aluminum clad replacement windows to replace the front 6 windows, smooth hardy siding with a 4-inch exposure and architectural shingles to match the existing. I will make a motion to approve.
Ferguson. Go Todd.
Brady, second.
All right, all in favor?
Ernst, aye.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, aye.
HTC 25-0003 is approved. HTC 25-0004, this is the propane tank. I'm gonna abstain, so
Ferguson, make motion to approve.
Keatsman, second.
all in favor?
Ernst, aye.
Brady, I.
Goodman abstain.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, aye.
Okay, HTC 25-0004 is approved. HTC 25-0005, 368 High Street. This is the picket fence replacement and extensions. I will make a motion to approve.
Brady, second.
All in favor?
Ernst, aye.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, aye.
HTC 25-0006 is approved. HTC 25-0006, 424 High Street. This is the 3 fence panels, subject to
I would-
no more than 6 feet off the ground.
Yes. Yeah, I would give it,
You want to give a little leeway there, Bill?
that's what I would like to,
6.5.
I would
So,
like, no, 6.5.
Okay.
If any,
Why don't you make the motion?
okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept this application. Given the owner has up to 6 foot 6 inches of
From grade.
From grade, correct, to put up the fence.
And it's only the 3 existing panels.
And it's only the 3 existing panels shown in the application. Thank you.
All right, I will second Goodman. All in favor?
Ernst, aye.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, aye.
HTC 25-006 is approved.
Congratulations.
Are you, okay, good. David, thank you. You're good.
Can you
too.
confirm it tomorrow? Probably. Go in, have you applied for your building permit yet? All right, yeah, go in and see her, and we'll see what we can do about getting it whipped. You don't have to go to the fire marshal for anything on this, so it's just gonna be me.
And,
Yeah, it explains the.
and I
Yeah.
keep my
Yeah.
boat at their next
Yep.
door neighbor's house.
Yep.
So you should.
And I only met them because I was keeping my boat at their next door neighbor's house and and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden
about the
Eric showed
gas
up at the
station.
same
I
time. And I
talked,
was
I
like,
was at a
hold on,
meeting
I knew
today,
Eric
we're gonna
was
get together,
here,
hopefully
but I
by
didn't know
Tuesday,
Eric
take a
was.
look at some stuff on it. Something I am gonna need from you, is a statement of special inspections for that.
If you. benefit
Okay,
from it,
I
you
need
should-
it laid
if you
out
Benefit
on a
from it,
form,
you should
and I
recuse
got-
yourself,
These guys want
if
to.
you know someone.
Right?
Thank you.
Thanks,
Especially
Dave.
something like that. If it's something bigger,
Sorry,
I'd
guys.
probably recuse myself, but.
Put the other thing into it's a small.
Everybody wants to do work after hours, right?
Right.
Right. But if you know them well.
They want a building
and
permit,
you're,
haven't
like,
even
talking
applied
about
for
a
you.
Big addition or something.
What's the matter
Probably
with
don't hurt.
Take a permit tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apply.
Like where I keep my boat, asked for addition, but I still.
Yeah.
Voted yes, but it wasn't like.
Okay.
It made or break the.
I'm guessing no pre-applications.
It looked like it.
Okay.
There's nothing that was on a schedule and nobody signed in.
We are cruising. tonight.
Yeah. Any public communications?
I don't know if this came up the last meeting, so I wasn't here, but I've gotten numerous, I don't know what our type of sign and response is, I've gotten calls, texts, videos sent to me, pictures, emails about the new smoke shop on Pearl Street, so I don't know what's.
So my understanding is Tom Zanarini is dealing with
Mhm.
it. Whatever you can do to.
So
deal
the
with
sign has been removed. The applicant, after the last meeting, when we denied it, I called him the next day. I talked to. It's like a property manager, I believe it's like a property manager who was kind of overseas. He went and talked to the tenant. And the tenant subsequently took the sign down. So the sign's gone.
The odd thing about it was there's nothing wrong with the sign.
He just never came in to present it, formally
that's-
present it,
and
and
that's
he had
why
a
we
lapse of
denied
time,
it.
and we had to deny it. We denied it with the consideration that it was only from a statutory time essence, and he could immediately come reapply if he wanted to, but he chose to take the sign down.
That was the first item on the agenda last time.
But the neon and all that stuff, Tom, that's a zone.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, he's working on some of that. Some of it may be applicable and some of it maybe not. I think some of the complaint is what the content is of what's being displayed in the windows. And I don't know to what extent he has any authority over that. But he is working on that.
I guess questions I told people, start signing, I don't know, previous planning, so I mean, I'm assuming it's the right place to direct them.
Well, anything in the window inside, you know.
Yeah,
That's what I said, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes, to
I don't
answer
want
your
to question
question.
the wrong place, but it's like brick
No,
building.
He said.
And
plans, so I-
he is reviewing, because it's really bright, the illumination factor, and the spill of it and everything else, so yeah. He is working, he's actively working on it.
I still wonder who's buying bongs in the middle of downtown.
I don't know. Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah, we've had a number of people that have forwarded email concerns on it as well. From
So just for my own edification, like,
We won't see you buying anything there. it's
no.
okay.
My question is, I thought there were only a certain amount of. So it's not a dispensary, right?
no,
Okay,
no,
that's so
you sell tobacco and.
tobacco,
tobacco.
and
Okay.
smoking products,
They're gonna come
but
back.
nothing that's regulated outside of like
I don't even know anyone that smokes.
marijuana or
Yeah.
anything in that.
Cause I thought only a certain amount were allowed per town or, you know.
Oh, for
region
dispensary stuff?
per- Yeah,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's highly regulated, the locations and everything.
yeah, that's.
Yeah, in addition
But
to
it's not-
local,
okay.
it's also, you have to get state approval on your locations and everything as well, so.
Is that it?
That's what I've got, yeah.
Anyone else? Do you?
What's that?
Do you have anything?
Nothing under public communications, no.
Approval of the minutes, we still want to, well, I didn't want to table this, but we're still table it until we have that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yes.
Just table it.
Okay.
It's up to you guys. I'm past that at this point. Like, whatever you guys want to do.
Well, I'll be honest, I haven't had 5 seconds to read them, so I would like to read.
I would agree with that. I kind of forgot about them after.
Yes, I just,
Okay. So no rush on that, so we'll do that next time. Any old business? Oh, I do. In an effort to try to get that rewrite stuff done.
Yeah.
Before both of you were here, we were working on like cleaning up the regulations. There was a chunk of cleanup in the beginning relative to the process, and then a bunch of what I would consider rather mundane changes and some eliminations of some small stuff.
Mm.
Just stuff that we haven't done for years, and there was also some just very archaic language about lighting and things that doesn't even exist anymore.
For example,
There was a whole discussion about like some type of like exterior light bulb that doesn't even exist anymore. And then there was some indication in there about like vinyl fences that we don't ever approve. And then there was also some discussion about like maybe allowing chain link fences. Don't quote me on this, but it's something to that effect. And then we added a little bit of language about windows, just that they should be simulated divided lights, not grills between the glass or vinyl. And then there was, I mean, a bunch of typos you caught,
like grammatical errors.
pretty minor, but just stuff to clean it up. There was a lot of pushback on the process, that the edits to the process. So I went back and forth with the town staff and the town attorney, whatever he is, to try to fix that, and we sort of made some progress. So what I was gonna do was try to pick the middle of the road, incorporate some of the changes they wanted, push back on some of the others, just to get one final document. I think everything in the latter 90 out of the 100 pages is not an issue. And I'd like to just bring that final version with a red line in. I guess you guys can now review it, and we'll just try to vote on that and be done with this thing. That makes sense.
vote on the design, you're separating the design from process, is that what I
We'll
heard?
do the whole thing.
The whole thing at once.
Yeah. So
Could you consider design? I think the design is not controversial. Maybe we
I
just want
don't-
to get that part.
I'd rather not go through 2 whole public hearings and everything over
Sure.
splitting it. I think if we don't have any issues with the design part, which I don't anticipate any, there's no reason to just not group that in with the process part. You know, Rich Cody, the attorney, has made the comments, some of which staff has agreed that are not applicable or not relevant with regards to how some of that stuff in the beginning that you guys agreed has kind of been the way things have been done, even though he was pushing back on it.
I'm not gonna give like a broad answer on that. I can't say what we have agreed or agreed that we have. Agreed that that we are not in agreement with a lot of the things that he says. There might be some things that we can that his comments that we might consider non-issues, but there are things that we think are very relevant.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. So the ones that we consider to be non-issues, though. Again,
I don't have
redline-
them on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, I'll
I would
redline it.
have to have the draft in front of me again and go through things.
The gist of it, there was a small section where I think we thought position A, the town attorney thought position B. And we were trying to kind of come to grips with that small section. Like you said, 90 of the 100 pages were like.
It was specifically related to enforcement, where they were saying that staff had the obligation, and we were saying that we had the obligation. So I think we can come to a middle ground that'll be satisfying.
I mean, it says for a CLG, but I'm saying that the state's gonna be covered by state code, let the state make the call, let's not take us and Rich out of it, it's an independent third party.
Because I personally think that, I think where we were pushing to try to force enforcement, I don't know that was a really good result. The more I thought about it over the last couple of months. I think a middle of the road is better.
Okay.
So, especially as I think that staff has dealt with enforcement in a reasonable manner in the last 6 months. So, I mean, again, the goal isn't to chase people and, you
No,
know,
I just wanna make sure.
Give
what
them
we're
public-
Look actually aligns with.
right, but I,
Going off. Then.
right, but people still need to apply for what they want to have done. They need to get it approved. You know, if there's situations like that fence where they don't apply for it, just apply for it. You know, it's not, I think that there's a lot of leniency and a lot of availability for people to do what they want with their houses. There's a few things that like, we don't really allow or push, so. You know, I think if someone's gonna ignore that or whatever, there's consequences to it, so. That's all. Is that reasonable?
So you are going to,
I'm gonna make a
Craft
I'm gonna make a
language.
final version,
okay,
taking into account those comments, and I'll
Okay.
submit it. And
Okay.
if everyone agrees that they're happy with it, or they want to make some minor tweaks, we'll make some minor tweaks.
Okay.
If they don't, then we have to go back and start all over in that area.
Okay.
But at least we can solve the majority of it.
so you're gonna
I'll
submit your
submit
draft,
it to Sue probably by the end of the week or next week,
Okay.
early next week.
and we are going to forward it to the attorney for comment?
What, should we look at it before the attorney?
Yeah, I
That's my
think-
question.
We'll get it to you all first, I
Okay.
think, so. You know, and then if he wants to comment on it again, he can comment on it
Okay.
again. And if the committee or commission wants to push it forward with or without his comments, they can, so. But I think the quantity of comments based upon the way I've read it recently and looked at it, thought I was gonna get done for the night, I just didn't get to it. I think it's gonna be drastically limited. So.
The quantity of revisions, that's what,
Quantity of comments from Rich is gonna be drastically reduced from what his original set was, based upon the revisions.
oh, yeah, a lot of it was. Like, one word things that he
Yeah.
commented on. Like the shalls, where he felt that, you know. You can't order somebody by saying you shall type thing, that was where some of the conflict was. Again, that can get looked at, if you're gonna look at that document from top to bottom and submit what you're considering a revision or a review. With the commission, what is a revision, and then forward it to him, it can all be looked at in its entirety.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, question, what does the whole whole and approval process look like? Like, you know, we look at it, we like it, then what happens? Town attorney or staff? Then what happens? It's on our agenda one night or?
It was on the agenda for a public hearing. If anyone wants to come comment on it, they can. If not, we vote to approve it, and does it go anywhere past that?
No, you approve it, and there'll be a 15-day appeal period, if somebody can appeal it.
And then
But
it's
in the
just-
notification process, there's a list of people that we have to notify that you're revising that. I'd have to check and see, like with zoning, you have to do surrounding towns and certain state agencies and things. I'd have to look and see what's required. When you guys revise your operating document. Who's required to be notified? I'm not 100% sure.
That's all I have. Any other old business?
I have, one Ashby is still with Rich. I haven't got any updates on that. The other one on High Street. And I hadn't had a chance to follow up with Tom. He was at a training at the end of last week and I didn't cross paths with him. But that fence on High Street. It was. I crossed paths with him in the front office one day and he said that I have an application in on that fence. I'm like, oh, great. And so I never followed up on it. That's the other one, the vinyl fence
Yeah.
where the wood fence fell down. I was just under the understanding that there was an application that had been submitted on it. And it wasn't only till I think yesterday, Sue told me that. No, there was never an application.
What's
for
the
that.
address on High Street?
It's when you,
80,
if you're coming,
89, is it?
if you're coming from your house, it's like the second. to
89
last
or,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
Before the yellow house on the right, there's like a brown house with like a rotunda kind of connected to it.
interesting.
When you're coming down the hill, you
Yeah.
can see it, but they had this like wood fence across the front.
Pretty
and
close to your house.
Then
Yeah.
that fell down or something and they replaced it with a vinyl fence, but you come down, it just like glows,
Okay.
you know, so,
Okay, keep an eye out for it.
yeah. It's like one fence panel, so my comment was just replace the fence panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and be done with it.
I think I know what you are.
A lot of what hinders us in gaining traction on these things is the notification process. The attorneys, it's very stringent that we follow a certain notification process and exhaust all of the options for what. Because we send certifieds and it gets returned. You know, not deliverable and everything, and if an enforcement action were to move forward. The applicant notification or the owner notification is critical to obtaining any kind of enforcement on it. And that's kind of what takes a long time is we'll send out letters and then we'll get them back and then we have to forward the rejection to Rich and then he'll say, all right, we'll send it again with this and snail mail at the same time. So a lot of what takes the time in this process is that notification process. We have to make sure we get it right. And it's hard because a lot of these places, people don't own them. They're in an LLC that goes to a post office box or, you know, or they're in an LLC over on, you know, Guggen Boulevard or, you know, and it's not tied to a single person. So it makes it more difficult. Even in the ownership card. So anyway, we're working on them though. They're still active.
Again, I've only had two pet peeves while I've been on this commission. One is closed, but the Ashby Street is so
Yeah.
you
and
did a
it's-
cease and desist.
Yeah.
Is the last I
Yeah,
heard.
yeah. And there's a work without permits violation now because they never came in, you know, obtained their permits. So the cease and desist then rolls into a work without permits violation.
That's a situation you should pursue.
Yeah, we are, you know, it's not gonna die, but like I said, it's just,
It's a process.
it takes time.
I mean, it's a little more egregious than one fence panel, but.
Yeah, no doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's building code violation, it's HDC violation, it's, you know. Number of things.
Are you familiar with it?
No, there's a house on. So you know, 2 Ashby, where they just redid the barn. Right below that, so it's a house on Mill Lake Road. They put a really tall fence in the back. With a roof over it, connecting it to the house. Was that approved? Looks like it's all plastic.
It's Noank Road,
It's No Lake Road.
like
It's
at the curve there.
Yeah, it's like a blue house.
No, we're-
It's on Airbnb.
Oh, I think I know the house you're talking
But
about.
they put up a vinyl fence in the front. That looks okay, but in the back, there's a really tall fence, because there's almost like a ledge. And then put this like lean-to roof.
Oh, this
kind
thing?
of covering. Yeah, so if you look, you can see it in the back, there's
Did they ever get permission from the fence in the front either? I don't know. Do you mind just?
I don't know.
Oh.
I know the house, we've gotten a ton of complaints about it because it's a pre-existing Airbnb. I mean, was there a fence there and they replaced it with vinyl maybe? No,
Well, I did the house across the street and there wasn't a fence.
No?
I did that yellow one.
I went on a walk one day and I saw them.
Putting the fence out or putting the thing in the back.
Putting the structure in the back.
So is it visible?
It's very visible.
Visible from knowing.
Because they
Or
have
from,
lighting on it, under it too, it looks like it's almost like a covered porch, but in the back.
Get the address and send it.
I'll take a drive by and look at it. I know the property, we've got.
But it's
a
visible
number
from
of
the street,
complaints
Jeff.
about The Airbnb there. What's that, Todd?
I was just asking, it was visible from the street. Where is it back? It's back over
very-
this way.
Yeah.
Visible from Knowing Road or from going up
From
High Street?
No way.
It used to be a different color, didn't it? It wasn't. Well. You would.
Oh, yeah.
Add that to
Add it to the list.
Yeah.
Okay. Any new business?
Well, I will just say that I called up Eric earlier. I am resigning from the Historic District Commission, effective today. I mean, I've been on the HCC for 300 years.
Since
and,
Eric was born.
Yeah, but I have, it's partly because I have extensive travel plans. I'm basically not around the next 2 months. I've missed some meetings, which I never like to do. I always prided myself on attending meetings, and I think I've sort of reached the point at which best to move on, especially now that we've got some new members. So it has been a privilege and an honor to serve, and I'll miss you guys, but
Yeah, how long have you been doing it?
I can't keep track.
So your wife that I met?
Yeah,
Yeah, she said it's a long time.
it's been a long time. It's been quite a long time.
Many years.
Maybe 20 years,
I would say
maybe
it's about 20 years.
maybe 20 years, maybe a little more.
I want to say personally, Ben, the whole time I've been on sitting next to you, it's always been a pleasure. You've been great. And I'm gonna personally miss you, so.
Who's gonna do all
Yeah.
the stamping now?
Yeah, and who's gonna do all the
Well,
reading
read
of this
it.
damn notice?
Yeah.
Remember, you gotta read it fast because you want to get through it.
It's gonna give me a hard time with my hand with the candles.
Yeah, just get those pin numbers out as fast as you possibly can.
Appreciate it though, honestly.
Well, it's sad news, but
Been
happy
fun.
for you.
It's fun one meeting, that's good.
That's right. Well, as soon as I heard you got on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That was it.
he goes to one meeting with you guys, he's like, I'm out of here.
Oh. Thank you, Todd, for your service. Just, it is worth noting though, that since Todd's leaving, and I've also said I'm leaving after these reviews, you should start to recruit. It would be good to start getting some people interested, because it is hard to fill these positions.
So can I just ask a logistical question? Would these two naturally slide on as alternates?
Well,
From-
they'll remain alternates
Oh.
and they'll get seated in a rotation based on
Uh,
the absence of regular members,
Okay.
according to the chairman.
Gotcha.
The chairman kind of coordinates that.
After getting
And
denied
typical-
5 times.
In a typical
so I don't think
situation,
I'm gonna
normally
get
the
on.
alternate will rotate up to the regular members.
Right,
As soon
right,
as I said it,
and that's
Yeah,
what,
put it out
you know, that would be the next step is,
'cause we-
alternate members or other people would be considered to fill the positions,
Right.
but
No,
that's,
I'm
that's
not against
outside of,
adding two more as well,
and then,
but we need to elect from the current group a secretary.
Next meeting.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
yeah. You would do that. Amongst sitting members.
Could I ask you to recommend me for a spot?
For the fifth time, I'd.
No,
be
it'd be
happy
sixth
to-
time, actually.
Sixth time. I'd be happy to.
All right, thank you.
Normally, you ask for the recommendation, I fill a form out, I send it in, or whoever the chair sends it in, and you move forward. You're also able to somehow circumvent the entire process and do it however you want. Either way, we need people. Please talk to your friends and neighbors. On that note. Anyone else?
So there is a requirement that a minimum of 2 members and 1 alternate live in the district. Under the bylaws, so just keep that into consideration when you're
You live in the
looking to
district,
recruit people.
Yeah,
and you
everyone's,
live in the district.
Yeah.
I live just outside.
everyone's in the district.
You're in the district.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not,
I'm,
I'm just outside.
yeah, I'll be just outside of Marshall, in Irving Street, so.
You sell your house?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Congratulations.
And there's also still a requirement that there's gotta be 2 people with the educational background. I know Mark has that in the experience, so just need to keep in mind.
My tax law doesn't help.
My
Tax law background doesn't help.
It could.
Okay, anyways, I will move to adjourn.
Nah.
History teacher.
We're done?
Were you a history teacher?
For 20